Welcome and good morning to another edition of the Friday Morning Commute. Let's go ahead and have a scheduled break from Pokemon Go now. Alright, so I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I hope you are enjoying the week, enjoying all of the craziness that is going on this week, especially if you're playing with Pokemon Go. I know that it's going to be a slightly frustrating experience starting off, but you know what? You need a little bit of a break every now and again, so I hope you enjoyed this break with me, because believe me, I could totally be playing Pokemon Go right now. It is that much fun. Anyways, so let's talk about Destiny. We have the always punctual, always on time bringer of salt back in the tower this week, so let's go ahead and check out what he has for us. For the Titans, he has the Armamentarium. For the Hunters, he has the Bones of Ao, which, you know, everyone loves because of triple jump. Can't beat triple jump on a Hunter. And then for Warlocks, we've got the Purifier Robes. For everyone, we have the Meta Multi-Tool. So make sure you pick that up, as it is a decent exotic, especially if you don't have one already. I don't have them on either console. I literally need them on both consoles, so we'll be trying to pick them up. And then for everyone, there is the Legacy Exotic Body Armor Engram. Now remember, the Legacy Exotic Engrams are only for Year 1 exotics, only going to give you the stuffs for the stuffs of the stuffs from Year 1. So don't expect a Year 2 engram out of it. However, always remember, if you get a Year 1 equivalent of a Year 2, then you can use Legendary Marks to purchase the Year 2 from the Year 1. With that being said, Bungie had their fun weekly update this year. Weekly update every year. It was about Bungie Day. So, my relationship, now this is not a formal relationship, this is a relationship of me playing Bungie games relationship. Started with Halo 1 back in 2001, 2002. Halo had just come out. It was sweeping the nation as one of the most played local area network game or LAN games because of the 16-person multiplayer in a first-person shooter aspect on a console. People were lugging Xbox, the original. I almost added 360 and then 1 with both of those being wrong. Lugging this Xbox to churches, to friends' houses, to strangers' houses, in order to play against people and to just have a good time. And so I jumped on the bandwagon and have been playing ever since. I played all the way through Halo Reach. And then it got quiet. Bungie moved on to a new project, and I wasn't as much in the loop with this new project as I would have liked to have been. At this point in time, I was just recently married, just recently also had a daughter, about 9 months after getting married. Yeah, my wife and I were that fast. I was going to school full-time, I was working a part-time job full-time. You know, I was a busy man, so I had time for rumors and for ear tickling, but I never sat down and really delved into what this new project that Bungie was working on was called Destiny. Fast forward to 2015, sorry. Released in 14, so it was 2015. It was May. I noticed Bungie was doing a live stream on Twitch. I just happened to also come in. I started tuning in and started watching the reveal streams for House of Wolves. And it opened up my eyes to a game where, to take a quote from one of the streamers I played with last night, a world where streamers can bake their own cake. And if you know what I'm talking about, you get the joke. But I got very interested very quickly. This looked like a shooter where it gave you the loot 'em shoot 'em experience, but also this kind of slightly tunable character with the weapons and with your subclasses, and I fell in love with it. I was like, I want to play this game. This looks like a game to play, and I want to see the story, because Bungie has always been known for having a great story in their game. Even if they've had to scrap it more than once and only release it with half the story, there's at least a little bit of story and enough of a base foundation where Bungie can plug the holes and move forward with the story. And that's what we've seen with I completely missed my turn. Lols. That we've seen with Destiny. So I pick up Destiny. I actually find a unopened Ghost Edition for the Xbox 360, because at the time I did not have any current generation console. I just had my Xbox 360 that I was technically borrowing from a friend. And I delved right in. I started playing. I got my friends interested. We started playing. We got them hooked. I was hooked. It was just a great time. And then that rest is history. It really is. I played House of Wolves, got into House of Wolves. They released the Moments of Triumph and went at it. So I can't believe, to be honest, that this year is 25 years that Bungie's been in the business of making video games. They've done a spectacular job, and it's been really enjoyable. The 15 years that I've been playing their video games. I actually need to go back and play through, on Legendary Edition, all of the previous Halo games with a friend, because that's what we do, and we just haven't done it. And there'd be video footage. Oh yes, there would be video footage. But that means I need to get a really good hard drive first. In any case, along with Bungie Day this year, which is the 7th day of the 7th month, we also released the Year 2 Moments of Triumph. So, if you haven't played Destiny, if you don't know what Destiny is, the story evolves through challenges. And these challenges are what's called in-game content, where you go through the story, you complete the story, and then you have these kind of extracurricular end-of-game activities that you play to experience just a little bit more story, take down that final boss that we thought we killed, remove prisoners from jails where they're justly jailed, but we just need to kill them anyways. Stuff like that. So, in Year 1, it was very, very simple, play some Crucible, go on patrol, find all these golden chests that are scattered throughout the maps, one time open, but it's a special chest. Complete the main story, complete the first expansion story, complete the second expansion story, complete what it's called raids from the vanilla base game, the first expansion, complete the raid-like activity from the second expansion. That's where a lot of people got hung up, is on what was called Skolos. It was a Prison of Elders challenge. The original PoE challenge. And if you did all this by a certain time, you were rewarded with an emblem showing off that you were a legend of Year 1. You completed all of the activities. You invested into this world and took a stab at pushing the darkness back. And in Year 2, we have the exact same thing. Except this time, I want to say it's a little bit more expanded. Kind of the feel of it. So, if you log into Destiny, you'll find at the Postmaster a book. Very similar to the SRL racing book, but this one is for the Year 2 Moments of Triumph. Now, for each 2 to 3 items you check off, you get a reward. So it's going to be a full armor set. There's a shader, there's an emblem. I believe there's armor pieces. Maybe not. I might be wrong on that. It may be shader, emblem, and a couple other things. I can't fully remember. I just took a brief glance at it last night, going, ooh, I've already done 2 of these. So, as you go through and play the game, especially if you play the in-game content, then you're going to unlock all of these things, you know. And it's very similar things to Year 1. Complete the expansion storyline. Do the reforge an exotic sword. You know, complete the exotic sword quest. Complete this Crucible quest line that takes you to, you know, the top of PvP, the pinnacle of PvP, and the Crucible. Collect all 50 calcified fragments, which will require you doing the new raid at least 3 times. And completing the challenge mode effects. What else? Complete the new Prison of Elders expansion material. You know, very similar activities, except more focused on what we've been working through in Year 2 in order to push back the darkness and to experience all that Bungie has given us. You know, and there's been good, there's been bad. Everyone will have their complaints, and it's not a bad thing to have an opinion. And sometimes the developers of these sort of games, you know, these MMOs or MMO hybrids, decide that for whatever reason these changes need to be made, and they make these changes, and you know, sometimes it seems to break the game, other times it seems to, for you, seems to actually play in your favor. However, for a software development company, for a game development company, to be able to make these changes and be willing to stick to them when they're, you know, not the most desirable, but still needed for balancing the game, is something I must applaud Bungie, because they do it, they commit to their changes, even if they're not the most welcomed changes. However, they will back from some changes if they are game-breaking changes, and they try to make the game as balanced as possible. We saw this with the latest update to the game, the June update, where hunters were kind of brought back a notch. We saw this happen to Titans, where Sunbringers were brought down a couple levels with their special. We saw this with Warlocks when Stormcallers were reconfigured. And we also see this with Hunters, and it's not always going to be a world where it should never be, because, you know, things are going to happen, things are going to go back, but it should never be a world where only one subclass, one class and one subclass rules this PvP experience, or so on and so forth. The one thing I really have enjoyed about a few of the Destiny raids, these in-game activities, is that they require except for one. You know, Crotazin's just way too easy. But these in-game content require a myriad of classes, and it's almost best done with 2 of each class that are running different builds of their subclasses in order to create a hybrid of team that can take down these challenges. And I like that. I like the fact that you have to sometimes play something you're unfamiliar with. Now, I've been lucky, or unlucky, depending on how you look at it, to have only played Warlock, and I can only play Warlock because I only have the time for a Warlock on either console. Because, thankfully, over this year, good and bad aside, I've picked up an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4, Destiny the Taken King on both, and have been working at getting these characters, at least on the PlayStation, since I started on the 360, up to the place where they can do these in-game activities. So that's going to be my challenge over the next 4 months, 5 months, 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2.5 months, is to complete these moments of triumph on both consoles. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see if we make it. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be a good challenge. So here at work, let's go ahead and relook at what Xur has for us for Year 2, Week 43. We have the Armamentariums for Titans. We have the Bones of Eo for Hunters. We have the Purifier Robes for Warlocks. The Mida Multi-Tool for all. Go get it. It's a decent, if not current meta of Scout Rifles in the Crucible. And then we have the Legacy Exotic Body Armor Engram. Remember, Legacy Engrams are for Year 1 exotics. You're not going to get a Year 2 unless you happen to get a Year 1 that has a Year 2 equivalent and you purchase it with Legendary Marks. I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have an enjoyable weekend. Catch some Pokemon. Catch them all. And I will see all of y'all later. I'll see you, Starside Guardians. Bye.